Well, the U.S. Open has arrived in New York, and Miami is making waves. The Miami Pickleball Club held a star-studded event at the Latte Palace Hotel. Venus Williams, Carlos Alcaraz, Holger Rune, just to name a few. I had an opportunity to catch up with the legends as they played some pickleball before the U.S. Open. Carlitos, a lot of talk about pickleball and tennis. Your first time on a pickleball court. Tell me about this.
Well, let's see how it's gonna be. You know, I hear that this sport is gonna be for the guys who has good hands, in tennis and that kind of sports. But it's gonna be fun for sure. So let's try.
And what are your thoughts about the beauty of this venue here in New York?
Well, it's a really beautiful place. To be to experience. I'm really grateful to be able to be here. And hopefully it's going to be a good 2 weeks here.
Final question, what's it going to take to play well in pickleball? This is a hard sport to master, isn't it?
Yes, of course. But I think in tennis I'm good hands, good touch, so I hope to be good here at pickleball.
The Palace Invitational bringing out all the stars. Ons Jabeur here. How does it feel to be playing pickleball?
I played once, so I cannot wait to play against world #1 in tennis. Let's see how it goes. It's a great sport, so I'm definitely gonna enjoy it because there's a lot of hands in it, and I know I enjoy a lot that.
Well, you have the best hands and angles in tennis. So how does that translate to pickleball?
That helps a lot for sure. That helps me, just be ready to make crazy shots. And I tried once. I think the sport fits really well.
I'm really grateful to be able to be here, and hopefully it's gonna be a good 2 weeks here.
Well, pickleball making waves here, as well as the Miami Pickleball Club, as the U.S. Open is here. I'm Harry Cicma. Well, it's an honor to be here with you all. 12 months ago, we were celebrating with Babolat yet again, and we have a great announcement with the best tennis player in the world. Not only are we celebrating Carlos Alcaraz, the #1 player and reigning U.S. Open champion, but we're also celebrating the history, camaraderie, and really the community that Babolat brings to tennis and sports. And it's an honor to be here. It really is a family, Team Babolat. So my name is Harry Cicma. It's an honor to be your MC today, and I'd like to welcome my colleague and the man who makes this all possible, the CEO of Babolat, Eric Babolat. Let's hear it.
Good to see you.
Well, Eric, thank you so much. You and your family have made this magic possible with the Babolat brand for so many years. So tell me about your excitement for the U.S. Open and New York.
Yeah, Babolat, we are a family business, and I'm the 5th generation and will be soon 150 years old at the company in 2025. And yes, my family has been involved in this game since it was born. And it was some years ago, back in 1875, when my great-great-grandfather invented tennis string, the first ever tennis string when the game was born. And to tell you how old this is, it's 2 years before the first Wimbledon, which is 1877. So we are older than Wimbledon. I don't think a lot of people in tennis can say that. And since then, Babolat's story has been linked to this game on 2 pillars. One, innovation, bring the best so that tennis lovers in clubs or on tournaments as champions perform and to have the best, because the best way to show that our products are good is to have those pros playing and winning with them.
And the history is so important because, of course, now Babolat is all about the rackets, the strings, and also the shoes. But it did start with strings. Bjorn Borg, Pete Sampras, just to name a few. So tell me about how the strings began this whole revolution.
Yeah, the string is important. We often say at Babolat, it's like in a car racing. You have the body, which is the frame, and the string is the engine of the racket. And at Babolat, we do string, and we did string nearly for 100 years before doing other things. And the our first string, and the famous name of our string is still there, is the famous VS Gut string that has won more than 100 Grand Slams since it exists, since with the biggest name, and you name a few. The French Musketeers, Mr. Lacoste and his fellows, Suzanne Lenglen were playing with Babolat VS string and winning. They were the world champion of tennis in the 1920s, 1930s. And Sid named, big names, Bjorn Borg, Arthur Ashe, Pete Sampras, Boris Becker, Kim Clijsters, Wozniacki, Andy Roddick, Rafael Nadal or Alcaraz today are playing and winning with Babolat products. That's what we do.
Well, tradition is so important for Babolat, and we talk about strings, but let's now move to the rackets. Carlos Moya, the first ever professional player to win a major. He won the French Open with a Babolat racket, followed by Andy Roddick and Kim Clijsters. They were #1 at the same time playing with Babolat, and then of course, Rafael Nadal made it quite famous. So tell me about that generation of players and how they brought the rackets into it.
Yes, it's important. As I said, Babolat champions have won slams since 1875, so it's a long time. And when we started, because we are the oldest tennis company in the world, but one of the youngest in rackets, because Babolat rackets started only in 1994. So it was many strings before that. And so after more than 100 victory with our strings, it was important to win the Grand Slam with racket. And that happened just 4 years after the launch of our racket. Was in Roland Garros, 1998. Roland Garros champion Carlos Moya with the Babolat Pure Drive, the best racket and the most rackets sold in the world still now. And at the time, 2 juniors were winning the French. Kim Clijsters in girls, Fernando Gonzalez in boy, both of them also Babolat champions. So really the time, 4 years after the first racket launch, Babolat rackets were already at the top and the pinnacle of tennis, winning Grand Slams. And funny now to have Carlos Moya being the coach of Nadal. Nadal is playing with Babolat since he's 9 or 10 when he decided not to play soccer but tennis. And since this, Babolat is his racket of choice, and we are very happy to equip such a champion. And the Gen A that we talk about now, Carlos Alcaraz, Carlitos, don't compare him with Nadal. It's something different. He's a big name, a big guy, and he's showing up that there is a new generation up and coming. The youngest #1 in tennis history, 20 years old, and still smiling. He loves the game.
And you mentioned the new generation of players, so let's talk about Mickelson, also Quinn. I mean, 2 American stars. So how important are they and other youngsters to really carry the torch? Because Rafa, we all know, isn't going to be playing for too much longer. So who else do you have?
We have more than 500 pro players with Babolat team, from juniors, boys and girls from different countries. But US is the biggest market of tennis in the world, the biggest for Babolat too. So of course it's important, and we would like to equip the next American champion, because since Andy Roddick, US is expecting a man to perform in tennis. So yeah, we have Mickelson, we have Quinn, 18 and 19, that will play the US Open as boys, as well as I think 62 out of the US nationals, boys and girls. So yeah, we have the next generation coming. There's not room for more, but we believe that it will come soon.
Well, the American market is so important, and that's why the US Open is great. So let's give a big round of applause to Eric Babolat. And we have a very special announcement, and of course we have the reigning US Open champion, the world #1, hot off that legendary match against Novak. I know he's hungry for revenge, and also his great Wimbledon title. So, with no further ado, let's welcome the man of the hour, Carlos Alcaraz.
How are you? Good to see you again. Good to see you. Eddie, how are you?
You're welcome.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Now first, who loves Carlos Alcaraz? Let's hear it, guys. So, Eric, how important is this gentleman to Babolat?
Very important. We love Carlos, and I think it's a case of all tennis lovers, because don't compare Carlos with anyone. Carlos is unique. Tennis has never been a player like that. Loving the game, performing, but I think what's the best about you, Carlos, is that every day you remind that tennis is not only a sport, it's a game, and you play this game, you like it, and it shows, and I think it's the best for tennis lovers and tennis. So thank you, and congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Carlos, talk about your excitement to be here in New York and for this great tournament.
Obviously, it's great to come back, in this amazing tournament. It's this tournament where I become #1, when I got my first Grand Slam. In general, I reached my dream. So for me, I have great memories here, and I'm really, really excited to play again here in New York.
Excellent. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a great announcement coming up, another historic announcement for the company and for Carlos. So Eric, take it away.
Yes, I mean, you know Carlos, you love him, but we know Carlos since some years. So Carlos started to play with Babolat racket and strings since he was 10, so it's 10 years ago already. And so we are together very happy to say that today we'll continue our partnership and sign for at least the next 7 years together. So we are here to sign the extension of our agreement and our contract, and very happy to share that with you, and very proud.
So on that note, we would like to sign the contract right now. So it's pretty exciting, and we'd like to bring the table out.
We need to stand up.
Sure.
Yeah. It's not the wedding, but soon. Put it here, it's better.
Yeah.
All right. Make it official.
Okay. Historical moment.
Yeah.
Want to start?
Sure. I sign here, right? Right. Here in.
Yes.
No, here.
Whatever you get there. Thank you. It's a done deal. Good, well.
Thank you, Eric.
So happy about that, and a special gift for you, because not only we signed a contract, but we are very proud of what you achieved since last year here. You remember 1 year ago we were here with the kids playing some tennis. Since then, 2 Grand Slam, US
Right.
Open, and the championship at Wimbledon just last July. So congratulations, and we are so proud and happy for you. So that's your new bag with the stars of this 2 first Grand Slam, and it's only the beginning.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So Carlos, tell me, what does Babolat mean to you to be part of this family?
Obviously, as Eric said, I've been playing with Babolat since I was 10 years old, and this is a racket that I love playing. I have reached so much success with Babolat. I'm really happy, to still play with the brand. With my team, I've never think about playing with another brand. So I'm really happy to extend the contract to still playing with Babolat, and hopefully a long list of stars with Babolat.
Thank you.
And also, I know we all want Carlos to win. Honestly, you're an amazing player. So how is this racket helping you to win? The technology, I mean, everything about it.
Well, I talked with about this model, this racket. I've been playing with this model, I think, 2 years from now. So it's quite good for me with a stringer more than I used to play before. So it helped me a lot to have the power that I usually play and the control as well. So and it's getting better every year. So for me, it's amazing.
Well, we love you, and this is the Pure Arrow. He's been using it for over 10 years, since you were 10 years old. So like you said, we have 2 stars, US Open, Wimbledon. Let's add a few more, maybe 23 more?
I hope so, I hope so. I've been working for that.
At this year's US Open in New York City, one Miami star will be shining bright both on and off the courts. Jo Fernandez will be doing the announcing in the TV booth and also the sideline reporting for the event's national broadcasts.
And covering all the matches. We have studio, long days, first ball to last ball. And the night matches are always the most fun and electric, but it could be a late night sometimes.
Fernandez was born in the Dominican Republic, but moved to Miami with her family at a young age and graduated from the Carrollton School of Sacred Heart in Miami before turning pro in 1987.
I was raised in Miami, particularly in Kendall Lakes, Florida, southwest Miami. And we had public courts near us at the Kendall Lakes Elementary School that we would go. There were 2 courts there.
Jo won Olympic doubles gold medals in Barcelona and Atlanta and was ranked as high as number 4 in the world in singles, and she credits Miami for much of her success.
So yeah, really lucky to be in a place where it was easy to play tennis. There were a lot of public courts, there were a lot of kids to play with, a lot of teaching pros, and a lot of competition.
Currently, Mary Jo lives in Key Biscayne and Cleveland, Ohio, with her husband Tony Godsick, who is also Roger Federer's agent, as well as their 2 children, and she's looking forward to making Miami proud at this year's U.S. Open.
It's always a fun way to finish the Grand Slam season, and it's so fun to see, okay, who are we going to see next year? Who are we going to see the year after? And who knows, maybe you have a surprise like we did a couple of years ago and have a breakthrough winner.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the grounds of the US Open. We're here at the Billie Jean King USTA National Tennis Center just outside of Hello everyone and welcome back to the grounds of the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. We're just outside Arthur Ashe Stadium Court as the US Open has arrived. And what an amazing tournament, the 4th Grand Slam of the year. So many amazing memories for nearly 100 years as pro tennis is alive and well in New York. And one of the great moments that I look back at is the old stadium court, Louis Armstrong, when Pete Sampras took down Alex Corretja from Spain, 7-6 in the 5th set in that quarterfinal matchup. Sampras went on to win the tournament with a victory over Michael Chang in the finals, and it solidified him as one of the greatest players of all time. During that match, Pete was throwing up on the court. It was a hot summer night. It started as a day session match and went into the evening. And Sampras showed more emotion than he's ever showed on a tennis court. And of course, Alex Corretja put his hands and his head into his towel after the match and shed a tear. He double faulted on match point, but both players were champions after that battle. And when I look back at that moment, it's one of the greatest matches in the history of the US Open. And of course, Jimmy Connors, when he took down Aaron Krickstein, battling from a deep deficit. He was over 40 years old, and Connors went on to make the semifinals of the US Open, where he lost to Jim Courier, but that will go down as quite possibly the 2nd most memorable match in US Open history. And of course, last year, Carlos Alcaraz, the young teenager from Spain, trying to catch up to Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic as one of the greatest players of all time. He's already won a Wimbledon, and of course he won the US Open last year. His win over Casper Ruud was a pretty easy victory in the finals, but definitely solidified Alcaraz as the player to beat on the Pro Tour, and it gives him a chance to one day be a great like Federer, like Nadal and Djokovic, and possibly battle for over 20 major titles like those great champions. So all eyes on Carlos Alcaraz. Also, Frances Tiafoe, the young American, has done a great job reaching the top 10 in the world, along with Taylor Fritz. To have 2 Americans in the top 10 is major for American tennis. I always say when Djokovic finally retires, the USA will have a chance of winning yet another major crown like Andy Roddick did nearly 20 years ago. Roddick, the last American champion to win a major. And of course, Tommy Paul in the top 15 in the world, probably the fastest player in the world. He has a win over Alcaraz this year on the hard courts, and he lost in 3 sets to Carlos in Cincinnati. So there is a chance we'll have 3 American players in the top 10 as this year continues. So many storylines, and let's not forget about the women. Coco Gauff winning not only Washington, D.C., a 500 event, but also Cincinnati, a great victory for her, her first ever 1,000 Masters crown. So a good win for Coco Gauff, and maybe she will be a major champion, just like Sloane Stephens and, of course, the legendary Serena Williams. So it's great to see American tennis going strong here on the grounds of the US Open, tennis paradise in New York City, the city of dreams. And that wraps up our broadcast for the US Open. For the rest of the staff and everyone in the tennis community, I'm Harry Cicma. Thanks for joining us. So long from New York, and we'll see you again next week to recap the world of tennis.